Alright, so this video is about the 1950 Assam, Tibet earthquake. So, just a bit of the preliminary details. This occurred on 15th of August in 1950. The magnitude of the original quake was 8.6, so that's one of the largest earthquakes in the 20th century. The epicenter was in Mishmi Hills. Basically, it's a region which is right in between modern-day India and China. Back then, it was a part of Tibet, which is a country that no longer exists. But even today, the territory is actually still disputed between India and China. It took place in the eastern Himalayas, so as you'll see, it'll be around this region. That it's actually the largest recorded quake caused by continental collision instead of subduction. It's notable because it produced very loud noise within the region, and in general it's just a very violent and loud earthquake. Before we go more into looking at the earthquake, I think it's just worth it to review the plate tectonics of India and Eurasia. The first thing to note is that India, the country of India, actually has its own tectonic plate. It's the Indian plate, and for about 20 million years or even longer, it's been pushing against the larger Eurasian plate, which is actually what causes the Himalayas, what causes some of the tallest mountains in the world. Earthquakes from continental collision are not as common as just oceanic subduction, but they do happen and they can be violent. So here is a look at the impact of the earthquake, the size. If you just want an idea of where we are in global geography, here's Eurasia. This took place just about in between India and China. Technically within China now, although, like I said, that's disputed. This is the epicenter here. It took place in somewhere called the Mishmi Hills. And as you can see, it had a very large radius spreading all the way out, mostly impacting heavily these mountainous areas, but spreading all the way out to the coast in this case, and even to Vietnam over here. So very, very large earthquake. Most of China felt the impact. So the overall impact, approximately 4,800 casualties occurred across all of the regions that it was in. Most of those occurred in Tibet and China. There was severe damage to the surrounding hills. There was about 70 villages in total that were destroyed, and that included about 2,000 homes, temples, and mosques. So very extensive damage. There was a lot of aftershocks from this earthquake. Actually, there was a story that there was an aftershock so big that the journalists thought that it was the main earthquake, and that it was actually the largest earthquake that ever happened, because they had somewhat of a misunderstanding of plate tectonics. The other notable thing is that there was heavy liquefaction. The area was about 50,000 square kilometers, so around the epicenter, and that area that was impacted by liquefaction was actually inhabited by over 1 million people. So there's very, very heavy property damage. And the sites, which are basically minor aftershocks that can only be picked up by special equipment, were actually observed all the way across the world to Norway and England. All right, that is my works cited, and thank you for watching today.